Alright guys, sorry the video is really late today. I was working on the mod and totally lost track of time. Let's talk about Canada going full 1984. Because Canada government is now suspending personal corporate bank accounts of anyone involved in the blockade. And you might think this is hyperbolic, but no. Let's listen to them talk about it themselves.
Emergencies Act, authorizing Canadian financial institutions to temporarily cease providing financial services where the institution suspects that an account is being used to further the illegal blockades and occupations. This order covers both personal and corporate accounts. Third, we are directing Canadian financial institutions to review their relationships with anyone involved in the illegal blockades and report to the RCMP or CSIS. As of today, a bank or other financial service provider will be able to immediately freeze or suspend an account without a court order. In doing so, they will be protected against civil liability for actions taken in good faith. Federal government institutions will have a new broad authority to share relevant information with banks and other financial service providers to ensure that we can all work together to put a stop to the funding of these illegal blockades. This is about following the money. This is about stopping the financing of these illegal blockades. We are today serving notice. If your truck is being used in these illegal blockades, your corporate accounts will be frozen. The insurance on your vehicle will be suspended. Send your semi-trailers home. The Canadian economy needs them to be doing legitimate work, not to be illegally making us all poorer.
So, hashtag over the fire. As the saying goes, over the target actually. As the saying goes, once you are over the target, they will unleash a whole barrage of anti-aircraft guns on you. And that's what they're doing at the moment. This is literally Canada freaking out because at the end of the day, this is having a huge effect on their economy. But here's the thing. Let me ask the Prime Minister of Canada a question. Is there any difference between you towing these trucks, for example? Say you manage to get the military involved, which they've rejected, but anyway. The military has literally told you to find someone else to do it. But regardless, say you do manage to get all these people off the streets and confiscate all the trucks and whatnot. What are you going to do for deliveries? If you make all these bank accounts get frozen because of the truck convoy, guess what? The truckies aren't going to be able to work anyway. Morons! This is literally shooting yourself in the foot because you claiming you have a sore foot. It's so freaking stupid. If you remove their insurance, if you remove their money, if you remove their bank accounts, guess what? There's going to be more of them. Morons. I get what the Canadian government's trying to do. They're trying to force people to go back to work, right? Okay, but what's the difference between this blockade, for example, and the truckies just saying, no, we're not going to work. We're just going to go on strike. There's no difference between this blockade and all of these big rigs just parked up in a vacant lot somewhere. Except for in the fact that in the city it's making you look bad. But at the end of the day, they could easily do that as well. They could easily say, you know what? Yeah, you're right. We should not blockade your city. Fine. We're going to go and all park in a great big field. And you can call us when you want us to go back to work. It'd have the exact same effect. So this is not going to solve anything. But this is, and of course we know this is going to be applied very one-sided, right? Black Lives Matter won't have to worry about this. But Canadian government is invoking its Emergency Act, trying to quell the COVID-19 protests. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced Monday that he is invoking emergency acts which gives the government authority to take steps to restore order. You mean control? Amid the blockade by truckies and other protesters in the country's COVID-19 restrictions. These blockades are illegal, and if you're still participating, time to go home is now, Justin Trudeau told the reporters after a viral meeting with the Providence leader, the Associated Press reported. Trudeau said the emergency order will be time limited. Of course it is, because Castro Trudeau, whatever they want to call it, geographically targeted, as well as reasonable proportion to threats that have been meant to the address. Trudeau told reporters the government is not calling in the military because the military told you to go F yourself. Quite literally. Let's see if I can find that. I saw that come up here. How do you spell his name? No, I can't see where it was now. I can't find... I had the article up before, but I closed it by accident. But yeah, apparently the military said, no, we're not doing this. Sorry, Justin, no. Little commie Justin, you're going to have to find some other way of doing it. So, yeah, obviously this has all been memed to hell online. People are having a field day. People are posting things like... Let me see if I can bring it up for you. So it's not on that one, it was here. And copy. Since this works, no, it won't work. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to do it this way. So, a visual history of War Emergency Measures Act. 1914, 1939.
I'd be down.
Trucker.
1970, the Great Depression, I believe. And 1922, bouncy castles. So obviously people are having a lot of fun memeing about this. But yeah, at the end of the day, obviously, look, as for this, do I think this is a huge overreach by the government? Oh, totally. And I think this is going to end up red-pilling a few people. TD Bank freezes accounts that received money from Canadian protesters. So the Toronto Dominion Bank has frozen 2 personal accounts in which $1.4 million had been deposited to support the protests fighting the Canadian government. If you have a Toronto Dominion Bank account, feel free to change. And when they ask why you're closing your account, tell them because you stood with the protesters. Once they start losing a whole bunch of accounts, they might rethink this. So the demonstrations, dubbed the Freedom Convoy by Canadian truckers, opposed the mandates for cross-borders drivers as well as the restrictions. It's now in its 3rd week. Who would have thought? So yes, if you have a bank account from the Toronto Dominion Bank, please feel free to change because they don't support you. And we might as well just take our money elsewhere, right? So Trudeau declares a rare public emergency to quell protests. TD Bank freezes 2 personal accounts. We've already talked about that. And here's a really, really good post by Via Fry, who's a lawyer litigator in Canada. They will seize trailers, assets, bank accounts. It seems the Liberal Party has found a way to finance their COVID response. by nationalizing private assets, also known as communism. He has a point. It is communism. And, you know, Commie Trudeau just standing there, obviously. So, yeah. Welcome to the rise of communism. I actually turned around and let's see if I can find my post. Oops, not that one. Yeah, I turned around. I can't find it. I turned around and wrote that they're showing their true colours, and it's communist red. Let's see if I refresh, it might come up. Yeah. So yeah, at the end of the day, I can't see the post there. I have to find out what the hell happened to it. Oh, there it is there. The masks come off, they're now showing their true colours, and it's communist red. Really? That is considered offensive? Wow. Just goes to show, hey? But guys, yeah, at the end of the day, let us know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. Personally, I'm not surprised they're doing this to the truckies. Stand the ground, stay in the line, whatever it is. Because at the end of the day, you're right over the target. You are having so much effect on the Canadian government. They are literally flailing around right now, trying to find ways to stop you. And the only way they would be doing that, or the only reason they'd be doing that, is because you're being effective. So stand your ground, guys. Apart from that, guys, have a great night. Enjoy yourself, everybody. And I'll see you in the next demonetized video from YouTube. Have a great night. See you tomorrow.